Hi everyone! Alright, so we're going to get started. Today we're talking about how to contact art directors, and this is a question that I get all the time. I'm sure all of you are just wondering, how does one get clients? It's all sort of mysterious. There's not too much guidance out there for us artists when we're trying to start our careers. So if you've been having trouble getting some clients, let me know in the chat. It's a really tricky thing. We've all been there. And so today I'm gonna go into some details into what we can do. So first of all, is this class for you? You are in the right place if you have some great art. If you're like, yeah, art I can do, but getting clients, that's the part that's the part I don't know, right? If you have no experience and you're like, how do I get this ball rolling? Then you're in the right place. If maybe you've gotten a few gigs here and there, but you really want to kick things up a notch, like you're ready to take this full time or get some more work, more regularly, better paid gigs, then this is for you. And it's especially for you if you've been trying all the things, right? Posting on Instagram every week, doing Behance and Facebook groups and all the things, and you're not seeing any results. And if you would like to find a way to get clients that's really more efficient and more consistent, definitely you're in the right place. So first, before we get started, for everyone who doesn't know me, because we have a lot of new faces around here. So hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm a professional freelance illustrator. I've been living full-time for my art since 2015 already. Starting to feel old. I can't believe it's been 7 years already. The first 3 years of those, I was working in a game studio as an illustrator. And then I quit that job cold turkey to go into freelance. And let me tell you, it was pretty hard at first. The cold turkey thing, quitting your job and getting straight in with no plan, no safety net. I'm not sure I would actually recommend that. It's pretty stressful and it is so difficult at first. So I did some small gigs here and there, and it took me about 8 months to get my first real picture book deal. And it was such a relief. It was really, oh, thank God I finally got this book deal. And it was really not well paid at all. It was like $2,500 for a whole book. So not well paid, but for me, it meant the world. It meant that what I was doing was finally starting to work. And as of now, I've published 7 books with publishers around the world. I've done many different things as well. At the end of last year, I decided to switch things up and I've been getting into the surface design market now. So if you don't know surface design, it's illustrations for products such as greeting cards or fabrics. So I've been trying to get into that. I've been hard at work building my portfolio, and I've already secured my first licensing deal for a Christmas gift wrap paper. So super exciting stuff. All of this sounds pretty good when I say it all like this, with hindsight. I've had 7 years to perfect this stuff, so it sounds like I have all my stuff together. But a few years ago, I was exactly where you are right now. I sent my first portfolio to 200 plus publishers, and I didn't get a single contract out of it. Yikes! And I had no clue what I was doing wrong. I think that's the worst part. I was like, what to do now? I contacted all of these people. None of them want me. What do? I don't have a job anymore. I started losing confidence and thinking my art just isn't good enough. Otherwise, people will give me a job, right? So if you're there right now, if you're starting to lose confidence and thinking, I must just suck, otherwise this would work better than it is working, I just want you to know it's okay to feel like this. Not being able to get work, it gets really discouraging. We get hard on ourselves. But it's not because your art is bad, okay? There's so many other reasons why you're having trouble getting work. And as artists, we kind of always take it back to our art. It must be because the art is not strong enough. Chances are that's not what's going on right now. As so many of you, I know you personally, Julie, Jana, Kim, Duyen, Alice, Victor, I see you all in the chat. I know you, I've seen your work and you guys are great. So it is not all about art quality. To succeed in illustration, it takes a good strategy. So if you're not very good at business, if you don't know what you're doing with art business, chances are that's what's wrong and that's what's missing. It took me so much trial and error before figuring out how to succeed in illustration. Literally months and months, pretty much the whole first year. I was just trying everything, throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. And so much of it failed, like really a lot of it failed. And that's how I ended up learning. But now I teach the strategies that I've learned to all of you guys so you can have it a bit easier than I did. So now I'm a teacher as well, and you've probably heard of my channel, Art Business with Ness. If not, I teach art business tips over there to help aspiring illustrators like you start their career. And I launched my first course last summer, the Art Business Bootcamp Level 1, to teach everyone how to nail their illustration portfolio. And we have many of our Level 1 students with us today in the chat. Say hi, Level 1 students. All right, so we're gonna get started right now. This class today is kind of springboarding off a video that I posted on my YouTube channel last week about passive and active methods to find work. So in that video, I made a distinction between the two, just to give you a quick summary in case you haven't seen it. I want everyone to be on the same page. So passive methods of finding work, things like posting on Instagram, paid portfolio websites, Fiverr, Twitter, Facebook groups, Behance, etc. These are all passive methods. So all of these methods have one thing in common: you display your work and then you wait for clients to approach you. That's why I call it a passive approach. And what I like to compare it to is going to a bar, dressed up all nice, and waiting for someone to hit on you, right? Whereas an active method is going to talk to the person you like straight away, right? Active methods is contacting an art director yourself instead of waiting for the client to come to you. So passive methods, they have several drawbacks. No control, right? You're waiting for people to make the first move. You're not in control of what's happening. It takes a long time. If you're trying to grow on Instagram right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lots of superfluous effort. So I hear a lot of people, I've been posting on Instagram 3 times a week for 2 years and still not 1 gig has come through. That's a lot of effort to get the work in. And you can't decide who approaches you, right? To keep in with my bar analogy, let's say you're waiting at the bar for 5 hours and finally someone approaches you and they're not even your type. How disappointing. You've wasted 5 hours. Whereas if you reach out to people and then you get to choose which one you like. Eleanor says, yeah, but it's not like art directors are sitting at the bar. It's all about knowing where they are, right? The bar is the place where eligible people go to hang out. Where do art directors hang out, right? With email, we can reach out art directors, just have to find their email addresses, and I have a method for that, and then we can just hit them up, right? It's very easy nowadays. It used to be not so easy to find out directors, but with the internet now, it's quite easy. All the clients that you want to work with, they all have a website, On the other hand, active methods allows you to take the bull by the horns, right? It allows you to take control of your career. Decide who you want to work with. Decide what kind of projects you want to take on, right? Because this is mostly with the kind of company you're going to approach. If you want to do greeting cards, approach greeting card companies. If you want to do picture books, approach picture book companies. Anna says, people at the bar want good art with little pay. Yes, that's it. When people reach out to you on Instagram, raise your hand in the chat if you've had this, right? You've been posting on Instagram diligently. Finally, someone sends you a DM. Hey, you want to illustrate my picture book for $200? You're like, seriously? Seriously? Heck no. And you get to choose specific companies with good budgets, right? If you decide who you reach out to, well, you get to decide, like, okay, Scholastic, they look like they have good budget. I'm going to reach out to Scholastic or Penguin or Simon & Schuster, right? The companies that actually have the money to pay you what you're worth. Jenna says, they're looking in the bar for someone easy. I love the dating analogy for finding work because at almost every level, it works. It's It's just the analogy that keeps on giving. And a bit later in this class, I'm going to keep this analogy to make a different sort of comparison. All right, so active methods. In my video, I mentioned there are 3 mainly: email, postcards, and social media. So this is where I left things in my video, and now we're going to expand, okay? I want to go into a little bit more details. You might be thinking, okay, emails, postcard, tell me more. Tell me more. All right, so first of all, social media. I don't really recommend reaching out to art directors on social media, like sending a DM on Instagram. I don't really recommend that because it doesn't really appear professional. It's easy for your message to get lost because, you know, on places like Instagram, Facebook, if you're not friends with the person or if they don't follow you, you end up in their like secondary inbox where your message might never been seen. And for a professional message, you know, you're trying to get work, sliding into their DMs, that's just a couple notches too casual for this type of interaction. And then art directors are like you and me. They're on social media during their downtime. You know, at home when they don't want to be bothered with that sort of thing. Many art directors don't have a professional page that's like related to their company or something. They're using their own personal profiles. So if you're sending a DM to an art director on their profile where they're posting pictures of their kids and their vacations, it can even be a little bit creepy, you know? It's kind of inappropriate. So I don't really recommend the social media route. Although you can send them a message on LinkedIn if you are really desperate, like if you're unable to find any contact information for them. LinkedIn, that's a little bit the more professional one, but definitely anything like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, just don't do it. Eleanor says, I hear over and over in interviews that art directors find illustrators on Instagram. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. The thing is, the ones that pop up in the algorithm are people who have like 10,000 followers or more. Building to that point takes forever. And I want you to be able to start your career now. It's still a good idea to build an Instagram following because when you do get to that point, then it starts bringing in, you know, better work and like art directors and people who actually have money and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. I've been doing this full-time freelance for about 4 years now. Okay. In that time, I've gotten 1 gig from Instagram. 1. That doesn't pay the bills. So yeah, it's really, really cool when clients start coming to you because it takes some of the work off of you to find the work. But definitely don't only assume that they're going to come to you because you want to take control. You want to be able to start your career now. If you have any downtime between projects, what are you doing? Just twiddling your thumbs, waiting for someone to hit you up? Or you can send out some messages and get yourself a job, you know? For me, it made all the difference in the world for having a stable career when I knew, you know, if I have a big hole in my schedule, I know what to do. I know exactly how to get a gig. I don't have to wait. Sylvie says, I've seen an art director asking for submissions in a Twitter post. Yeah, definitely. The thing with social media is don't like contact them if they don't ask you for that, like on Instagram or something. But the exception to that rule is if they're asking for submissions, then definitely. If they ask for it, then definitely you can. On Twitter, sometimes they do that. If they're asking for submissions, that's your time to shine. And Twitter is good for that. There are hashtags. Some of them have like submissions forms and things like that. That's the way to go with the social media thing. But they are saying that many people are submitting. Yeah, definitely. If an art director is asking for submissions on Twitter, you can assume they're going to receive like 500. So it is high competition on social media. That's the thing. Next, postcards. Okay, you might be thinking, postcards? Seriously? Yes, seriously. If you're on the younger side, maybe you've never even sent a postcard. They've been going out of fashion for a long time. Like I'm 30 and I only sent postcards like 2 or 3 times my whole life. But publishers are quite old-fashioned and postcards are still very much a thing in the publishing industry. The nice thing about it is when they receive a postcard, you have a great display of your art on the front, and then on the back you can have your little message. But what the art directors like to do is they keep the postcard that they really like and they pin them on their wall so that they can remember you. When they have a project for you, they're like, I like this artist, I want to remember them. So compared to social media or email, postcards you keep fresh in their mind longer. Okay, it's a method that works longer than the others. However, postcards also have downsides. First of all, it is a pandemic. People are at home, working at home. They're not in the office anymore. Isla says, what should I write on the postcard for not being creepy? Just hi and your portfolio link. Seriously. Most of the time, the art director, they kind of skim and they go straight to the portfolio. So don't overthink it. But people aren't in their office anymore. Ever since 2020, I've said, don't send postcards. They won't receive them. And I'm just imagining all the publishing offices, they must have like bags and bags and crates in storage of postcards that people send that haven't been looked at yet. It's kind of crazy to think about, but we're in 2022 and it doesn't seem to be letting off. I'm kind of thinking that maybe postcards have had their heyday, because it seems the remote work thing is becoming a lot more popular. Some people are never going back to the office, right? And during the pandemic, email solutions and internet solutions and Zooms and things like that have become a lot more popular. So I don't know if we're ever going to go back to postcards, at least not to the level that it used to be, because a few years ago, postcards were the golden standard to find work in illustration. It was the thing to do. But for 2 years now, we've had to do other stuff. I'm going to go to the next thing about postcards. They're expensive. They really are expensive. First of all, you have to pay to print them, but it's actually the postage that's going to kill you. Depending on where in the world you send it, it could cost you between 15 cents to $1.50 to send a single postcard. You send 100 postcards and it costs you $300. It's exceptionally expensive to do postcards. I've done them once in my career at the very beginning, and I wish I had waited, because I sent about 50 of them. I spent all my money. I didn't have any more money after 50. I was like, okay, that's my limit. And I didn't get a return. I didn't get a single thing out of that. It was expensive. It cost me like $200 for 50 postcards. I'm sending them from Canada, so the postage was a little bit expensive. Come to find out, now with hindsight, I know that the design that I put on those postcards was all wrong. It didn't have characters. It wasn't about storytelling. I was trying to get work in picture books. It was all wrong. So that's why I didn't get any return. But I didn't know that at the time. And I spent a lot of money for nothing. I don't think that postcards are the right way to experiment at the beginning of your career. Because of the cost, I suggest this for a later career strategy. When you know what you're doing, maybe you already have some contacts, you want to butter up your contacts or something like that, then postcards are a great strategy to go. I was actually going to start doing postcards again in 2020, which was year 2.5 of my career. But ever since then, even if you are ready to send postcards, at this moment, not the time to do it, because chances are no one are going to see your postcards. Digital postcards, virtual postcards has been gaining a lot of popularity during the pandemic because people have had to not rely on postcards anymore. So, because of the downsides of both social media and the postcards, what I personally recommend is email. It's been great for me, email. I've built my whole career on email. It's completely free, so you can send as many as you like. If you want to send 500 emails this month, you can. Go crazy. Send 500 emails. And it's a great way to link your portfolio website, attach image samples. It's all very easy for everyone involved. However, emails also have downsides. Even though it's my preferred method, it would be dishonest to pretend like it's a perfect. No, there are downsides to emails as well. There are a lot of pro illustrators who have gone on the record saying that they haven't had a lot of luck with emails at all. In fact, a lot of you are familiar with Will Terry of SBS Learn. I bought his book, What They Don't Teach You in Art School. Great book. And in his book, he specifically says that email is basically a waste of time. Completely. I think there's like 2 lines in his book about emails. He's like, don't even, waste of time. And yet, I've built my entire career on emails. So what gives? What this discrepancy? Is Will Terry wrong? What's going on here? Well, Will Terry is not wrong. If you know me, I'm a big fan of Will Terry and svslearn.com. His book was amazing, absolutely recommended. However, when he says that emails don't work, it's because the current best available advice on how to email is frankly terrible advice. Really, really bad advice. Okay? Very outdated, inefficient, and it has a low success rate. So that's why people like Will Terry don't bother with it. So what is it? I call it the classic query, okay? And that's what they all tell you to do right now. It's very simple because art directors are super busy. So the point of it is being short, going straight to the point. So in the classic query, you simply do a little quick introduction of yourself, a link to your portfolio, and then if you have any relevant experience, you can mention that, and you express the desire to work with them. That's it, bim bam boom. I'm going to give you an example. You guys are talking about agents in the comment. An agent helps so much. I have an agent too, but I recommend always being able to reach out to clients yourself too. It's a crucial skill, whether you have an agent or not, because contrary to popular belief, an agent is not going to find you all of your work, okay? They're going to find you one gig here and there. My own agent finds me about 1/4 to 1/3 of all my work. Recently less, because since I've been switching to surface design, and my agent does more picture books, so they haven't been able to find me a lot of work in surface design. So I see a lot of people, like Corlette, for instance, we were discussing the other day. She has an agent, and she's having trouble with her agent. She's like, I thought they'd be getting me more work. And people think that when they sign with an agent, they're going to be bombarded with work like day in, day out, and they're going to be fully booked. But that's not really the thing. You know, they're going to send you maybe one gig every 2 or 3 months if you're lucky, and then you say yes or you say no. So you still need to be able to contact people by yourself to fill the rest of your schedule. And so it's not a good idea to just think, I don't want to do this querying thing. It freaks me out. So I'm just going to get an agent and they're going to do all the work. You have to know how to do that stuff too. So let's do the classic query. Good morning, art director name. My name is Vanessa Matt, and I am a children's book illustrator from Ottawa, Canada. I absolutely love the work that you do at Company, especially the beautiful book title that I really enjoyed recently. This is exactly the sort of project I would love to do in my career. So I'm writing to you today to submit my portfolio to you for consideration. So this is the introduction part, okay? Some nice sucking up, but not too long, right? I'm not telling my whole life story, just a short little introduction. You can find my portfolio at this address, website address. I've been illustrating children's books professionally for the last 3 years, and you will find on my project page some examples of my favorite books that I've worked on in the past. I especially love working on books about nature and excel at drawing forest environments and animals. So this is my relevant experience, and pro tip, telling them what you want to work on works really well because you want to give them ideas, right? You want to give them little clues. I would be good for that. Do you have a project like this, right? This is a pro tip right here, secret. Do you have a project we could collaborate on together? I would love to hear from you. So this is the part where I'm expressing my interest. Best, Vanessa. All right. Milquia says, definitely get the art director name correctly. Yes. If you don't have the art director name, you can do good morning, comma, but it's just so impersonal. You should do a little research. You should get your investigator hat on and actually find the art director's name for this. So this is the classic query, okay? And you can take this right now, copy paste this thing and start setting it, and you will get some results, okay? I'm giving you the deets right now. However, there are some big flaws with the classic query, okay? And that's what we're going to get into right now. In the first year of my career, I sent literally hundreds of emails like this. Usually when I did a mailing, I would do a batch of 100 emails. It takes like at least 2 weeks to do this, send like 200 emails like this. And I haven't done like any scientific research or anything. I can only speak from my personal experience. But for every 100 emails sent, I would get between 5 and 10 replies, okay, to the classic query. So when I say, if you want, you can take this and go at it, okay? But that is so low, so low. I talked about a low success rate, 5 to 10%. Yikes, okay? Yikes, seriously. And most of those replies are rejections. They're not like 5 gigs. There are people who are telling you, oh, thank you so much. I love your art. We don't have anything for you right now. Bye-bye. Okay? So, yeah, not that great. Not that great. That's why people like Will Terry say it's a waste of time, because it is a lot of effort for little return. Rejections are not actually the problem. You know, if you get 5 replies and they're all rejections, it's actually pretty good, okay? Because after a while, I found a way that you can follow up on those rejections, start building a relationship with the art directors, and a lot of times I'm able to turn a no into a yes down the line. That's one of my secret methods. But you can't do that when they don't reply at all. And that's the majority experience with the classic query method. You don't get replies, right? You send 100 emails, 95 of those get no reply. What do you do with that? You can't do anything with that. It's so slow going. And because that's what I did the whole first year of my career, I was just hustling all the time, right? It takes 2 weeks minimum to send 100 emails, and then you get 5 rejections from that. Then you have to do it again and again and again. It's a numbers game that has a very low success rate. So you're constantly hustling. But why is that? Why does the classic query, which is the best available advice right now, why is it such a low success rate? Okay, I'm going to go into like the psychology behind it and why it has so many like deep flaws. So there's 3 main reasons why the classic query doesn't work that well. First of all, it's asking for too much too soon. Okay, so again, my dating analogy at the bar. If we're keeping with this analogy, okay, the classic query is like approaching a stranger at the bar and saying, will you marry me? Whoa! Whoa there, crazy sauce, what are you doing? You don't do that. What are you doing, right? It's way too much, way too soon. You're coming on a little strong, cowboy. And that's kind of like what the classic query is doing, right? Because these people, they don't know you. They don't know you from Eve. They don't know you from Adam, okay? That's very difficult to put that much trust into you at the first time that you contact them. You have to remember that professional artist contracts can be thousands of dollars, right? I had a children's book that was $10,000. But a regular one for me, since I do mostly like shorter books, board books, my average contract is $5,000 to $6,000. That's a lot of money to trust you with when they do not know you at all, right? They have to know a little bit more before they can trust you this much. And maybe right now you're thinking, but my art is amazing. That's all that should matter. They can see how beautiful my art is. So why do they need to know more? And that's like saying, but I'm so attractive. Why wouldn't she want to marry me right away? Right? When you approach someone at a bar, they can see what you look like. Even if you're the most attractive person in the whole world, do you think asking them to marry you would work right away, right? I don't think so. They need to know a little bit more, right? They need to know about you as a person inside. They need to know if you guys are compatible. All of those things matter a lot more than just looks. It's the same thing for your art. As artists, I've noticed that we often kind of all bring it back to the art, right? We all focus about practicing and making it better. And we're thinking like, if I can just get to like this genius level where the art is so good that I just show it to people and they're going to throw their wallet at my face. That's not really how it works. It's also important your other professional qualities. Other things that are just as important as your art, if you're trustworthy, right? If you're going to run off with your advance, or if you're actually going to meet the deadlines, if you're going to take critique well, if you're going to be a good team player, if you're going to know how to do bleeds and leave space for text, and if you're going to know about color profiles, right? They don't know that just from looking at your art. And when they agree to give you a contract, they are taking the money from their company, money that does not belong to them, and they are telling in a meeting, in a boardroom of people, they're telling, we're going with that artist. I vouch for them. We're giving them $10,000. And if you run off with the money, or if you end up doing a shit job, that's on them. It's their reputation on the line too, okay? So they have to trust you. If you are super experienced, right? You've been in the industry for 10 years. You have published 20 books. People know you. Your name means something. Like Will Terry. If Will Terry emails anyone, asks for a job, he has a lot more chance than you and me because he's a household name. People know that he can do the job and that he's trustworthy. But when you don't have a lot of experience, when you don't have many examples of past work, when your name isn't a household name still, then it's a bit of a big ask for the first email, okay? In the Art Business Bootcamp Level 1, one of the things that I teach is how to build a portfolio website that can overcome some of these objections, right? I talk about writing a good bio that covers some of this, having testimonials, showing all of your skills in your portfolio, things like that. And that does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. It does. Still, when you start out with no experience, it's always better to make a good impression and build a bit of trust before making the big ask. Otherwise, it's just a little bit too soon. Ask them for a drink first, offer to pay them a drink first, chat them up before popping the question. The second big problem with the classic query is the art director probably doesn't have any work for you at this moment that you're emailing them. Querying is so much about timing and about luck. I want you to think about something right now. How many projects do you think an art director has on their desk at any given moment? 5, 6, 10? I don't know the actual answer to this question. I imagine it changes quite a lot from company to company. But let's say, for the purpose of this conversation, 10, okay? Let's say an art director at any given time, they're working on 10 projects, okay? Let's say this is a picture book company, okay? They have 10 book projects. Half of those maybe are in the phase where they're chatting with the authors, trying to pick a manuscript, making tweaks with the authors, trying to, get this all sorted out. They don't need an illustrator yet. The other half are later in the development. They already have an illustrator for the project. In fact, the illustrator is drawing this book right now. So this art director is maybe looking for one artist, or maybe not at all. Maybe they're not looking for anyone, okay? And they're also going to be looking for something very specific. So let's say they are working on a very dark and tragic story, okay? It's a kid and their mom has cancer and she's dying, and it's a very beautiful, poetic, but sad and tragic book. Okay, so they are looking for, let's say, realistic watercolor that's really poignant and soft and beautiful and poetic, okay? And you send them your portfolio and you have like vector work, colorful, cute little characters, color everywhere, so cute! Kind of like Julie's work. Julie Cossette, your work is so good, okay? But maybe not for the cancer book, right? We're not a fit for everyone. And so if you're sending them something that is not a good fit for what they're looking for, no matter how much they love your art, there's a very good chance that they simply cannot hire you right now because you're not what they're looking for. And so they don't reply. A lot of times, and in the beginning of my career, I was totally like that too. I send 200 emails and no one gives me a job. I think, God, I just suck. I'm the worst artist on the face of the planet. But that's not what it means, actually. Maybe they liked my art. It's just, that's not what I was asking, right? I didn't ask, do you like my art, yes or no? I asked, do you have a job for me, yes or no? The reply was, well, no, I don't. That does not mean that they do not like my art. However, it's not the right timing. Will they remember you next time? That's why when I get rejections, I follow up with them, right? Maybe when they do have the colorful project, then they'll remember me. So it's important to follow up. However, very hard to follow up when people don't reply, when they don't tell you, right? And since they're so busy, if they get the super colorful portfolio and right now they're searching for depressing shit, they just don't reply, okay? And so you're losing them. That's how you end up with only 5 or 6 replies out of every 100 emails. It's because you're asking them for something they can't offer you right now. The third problem with the classic query is that it sounds very demanding, okay? And it doesn't mean to be. It really doesn't. Like what I showed you before, I was even doing a little bit of sucking up and being really polite and short and trying to take into account the art director's need. But you just have to imagine that this art director is getting dozens and dozens of identical emails every single week, okay? Maybe they opened their email inbox this morning and they had 36 emails from artists, and they all sound like, look at my art, look at my portfolio, give me a job, hey, me, okay? It can just be very overwhelming and demanding. We don't mean to be, but we come up as very needy. It can feel very repetitive and overwhelming for the art directors because they deal with this day in, day out, okay? And that's what we have to remember. It's not just one email, it's in a sea of emails. How would you react if that's your everyday, right? So to summarize, the classic query is asking too much too soon, is asking for something that they cannot give right now, and gets lost in a sea of demanding emails that all sound like they're begging for a job. Is it any wonder that the classic query has a low success rate, right? Not really. When you see it like this, and a lot of my business strategies have come from trying to put myself in the shoes of the art directors, trying to think about their needs, think about their side of things, right? And if I'm an art director, the classic query just, it wouldn't do it for me. It wouldn't. However, that's just the classic query. Who says that we have to email like this, right? You're not the boss of me. I can write whatever I like in my emails. And so I've been experimenting with emails, with different methods. And there is better emails that you can send. Over the years, I've developed my own email method, and I've had a lot of success with it. Like I said, I've built my whole career on emails. And my method, I like to call it the network method. I really like puns and like cute acronyms and stuff like that, so I always pepper them everywhere. The network method is an acronym, and it covers like everything from the method. For each letter stands for something. And with this method, I've been able to really kickstart my career. I actually got the idea for this when I first opened my Etsy shop. Okay, and you'll be like, huh? To learn how to make sales, when I first opened my Etsy shop, I was taking many different courses in e-commerce and email marketing and learning how to, sell stuff, which is not a skill that comes naturally to me. So I was learning about it, took many different courses. And so I was learning about these things, all these fancy email marketing strategies and funnels to like warm up the leads, as they say, and all of these fancy automations and things like that. And I started thinking, you know what? I bet some of these strategies would work on art directors too, because they're based on psychology and marketing, right? So that's when I thought of incorporating some of these marketing strategies I was learning about into my queries to art directors. My network method is not salesy, don't worry. When I say, it's based on e-commerce, people are like, what? It's not sleazy, it's not salesy. It's based on aligning on someone's needs, right? And creating more engagement with them. Engagement is a little bit of buzzword. You've probably heard that in relation to maybe your Instagram or Twitter or something like that. getting more engagement means, having more connection with them. Maybe it be likes or comments, getting them to engage with your content. Same principle here. All this method is about getting them to reply so that we can get a conversation started. I've tried many different things, but settled on 2 variations that work a lot of the time. But right away, I saw the difference. With the classic query, receive 5 to 10 replies for 100 emails. With this method, over half the people reply. That's 5 times more. The first time that I started sending these emails, I was like, whoa! And they replied right away as well, which I was really surprised. That was an absolute game changer for my career. This is when things really started happening for me and got into high gear. Whereas the whole first year was kind of scrounging by, hustling 24/7s. With this method, I was able to quickly get fully booked, sign with my agents, and I was able to start being a lot more picky with my contracts, which is so important. And so this is the method that I teach in my Art Business Bootcamp Level 2. You've been seeing the post. It's ready. I've been working on this thing since November, and it is ready. And I'm so happy to finally be able to invite you to come into the Level 2 course to learn how to skyrocket your career with me. In Level 1, for those who know, we worked on putting a really solid portfolio together to showcase your talent. So whether you were a Level 1 student with me or whether you already have your portfolio, what's important is in Level 2, we're putting that portfolio to work, finally. So in this course, I'm teaching not only my network method, but also so much more. This course is a very thorough walkthrough of every single step involved, all the way from company research to signing your contract. All right, Level 2 is now open for pre-orders. So if you're someone who's like really tired of hustling 24/7 to get your career started and you're tired and nothing is working, then I think this course could really help you out. If you're tired of feeling unsure of your next steps and you're like, I really want to have a proven strategy, I'm tired of doubting myself, just like tell me what to do, then this course is for you. We're artists, we're not marketers, right? This is difficult stuff. It doesn't come naturally to you or to me. And this is something that took me a long time to develop. And so I'm more than happy to share my techniques now so that you don't have to. Art business can really make us feel out of our depth. And so let me show you the proven strategies that have worked for me to help you get on track with the career of your dreams. This is it here, the Art Business Bootcamp. It is your master shortcut, and it includes every single thing that you need to get started. So the first module is all about finding clients, what we talked about today, basically. It includes how to research your market to find companies to query, how to organize your market research, how to find the contact information of specific art directors. We talked about this a little bit in the comments. Having the name of the person and their direct email address, very important. There are actually strategies to help you find that. I'm going to show you how to become an investigator. How to query clients and exactly what to say. How to follow up, which honestly is even more important than that first email, is following up. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. And how and when to pitch, right? How to pop the question when you're ready. Then the second module, I like to call it Seal the Deal, is all about getting that contract sealed out, right? So how to price your work. Very, very important. And I know super confusing. Like there's so many things to take into consideration. So we're going to demystify all of this. All about copyrights and usage rights. How to negotiate to get the best deal possible. This is something that I was very nervous about when I first got started. I would never negotiate. I'd be like, hey, yeah, fine. It's very important to negotiate. And I'm going to show you how so that you don't have to be nervous about it. Examples and scenarios so you can put all of this into context, and how to get it all into a contract that protects you and your interests. And we have bonuses, all the tools, templates that you need. So first, there's my market research Airtable base. I know that doesn't sound like the most exciting thing, but trust me, it's going to change your life. This is it right here. I'm an Airtable nerd, and this will help you organize your research. It's all interconnected. You add something in one record, it copies the information where you need it. It's honestly pretty amazing. My email swipe files, you can just copy paste the emails directly. My pricing worksheets, so this is like a calculator and worksheet, so you can put in your information and find out the right numbers. My rate sheet template, my quote template, resource page. This is really nifty. Every single tool, app, things that I use in my business, I'm compiling all of them into a resource page, so you have everything in one place. My negotiation swipe files, my sell sheet template, and my complete contract template. This is it right here with the contract stamp on it. All of the contract template. That's really, really useful. If you've ever been on with a small client and you don't have a contract and you're like, what do I do? Having contract template can save your butt. And access to the exclusive Facebook group for students only, where we can all commiserate and keep ourselves accountable, share our wins, all of this stuff. I'm giving you all the knowledge and tools so you can go in prepared. By the end of this course, you'll be able to approach clients with confidence, because having the knowledge and tools, that's what makes all the difference, right? Whatever they say to me, I know what to say back. I have the tools, and that makes so much difference. This is easily worth over $1,000. I remember when I was doing courses for Etsy, I think in total over 2 different courses, I paid like $2,500, because this is thing that can really help you get started and make money back. And I want this to be really affordable. I do. When I started the YouTube channel, it was never about like a get rich quick scam. I really want to help artists, so I want to make this affordable. Of course, I have to charge for it, because that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Charge what you're worth. And I've been working on this since November, so I have to make money back for my time, but I want you all to be able to get in if you want to. And during the pre-order period, which is right now, you're also getting 50% off of this course. So the regular price that I settled on is $400, but the pre-order price that you can get right now is $197. And that is my best price. I literally cannot go any lower than this because again, I've been working on this since November, and I've been seriously running out of my savings, and I need to make some money back. So snag it while you can, because this price will never be this low again. Never. I can't sustain this because there's so much put in it. So artbusinesswithness.com/level2, going to pop in the link again in the chat. That's where you can go and enroll if you want. The doors are closing on February 20th, which is in 2 weeks. However, there are a limited amount of seats. We have 100 places available this time. That's because of the live component. I want to be able to, make sure the lives go smooth and everything. And we opened to the waiting list Saturday, and during the weekend, over half of the seats were taken already in 2 days. That is crazy. I checked right before going on the live, and we had 52 places taken already just over the weekend. I'm just speechless, honestly. To give you a comparison, when I launched the level 1 course, on the first day we had 13 students enroll, and this time over the first weekend, 52. I just thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're excited as I am to talk about finding clients, and that this course is tickling your fancy. It means so much. And so we have about 48 places left. If you want one, go ahead and go snag one while it's at this price, because as soon as we hit 100 places, I'm going to cut it short. Now no one will get in after that, because again, I want to make sure that the course goes very smoothly. Going to be very tempting. If more people want to get in, I'm going to be like, oh, but I want your money. But I have to make sure that the course is at a high level of quality. So even if it's not the 20th yet, as soon as we hit 100 places, we're going to cut it short and close the doors. Susan says, level 1 has already helped me so much. Thank you, Vanessa. Oh, thank you, Susan. Victor says, if we miss those live courses, they will be replayed. Yes, all of the lives are recorded and you have lifetime access. So that's actually pretty interesting because we have several students enrolled already that literally told me, I don't have time to watch the course live this month. You know, we're starting in February. She was like, I'm going to watch it over the summer or something. So that's something that's possible. You have lifetime access. There's going to be, the recordings are going to be there, even if you want to do it in 6 months or next year. And this is really the best price it's going to be at. So if you have the money right now and you want to snag it now, you can. Or if you can't make it to the live but want to watch it the next day, you can. Awesome. So you don't have to do it all alone. Let's do it together. This is something that I really want to hit on. You don't have to take my courses. You don't, to succeed. Like, I never want to I never want to lie to you and like, you have to take this course or you will never succeed. That's not how it is at all, okay? You have it in you to succeed, whether you take my course or not. You do. You're awesome. But you don't have to do it by yourself. That's what I did. And honestly, it was so hard. It was really hard. And it took me forever. It took me about a year to really start getting the ball rolling. And I don't want that for you, you know? If you can get it started right now, why not? And this is an investment in yourself that can help you get started much faster with better gigs. And if I had that option when I started out, I think that's what I would have done. Because when they say time is money, that's exactly what they mean. You know, if you can start getting gigs 6 months earlier, then that's 6 months worth of wages that you're losing on if you're trying to do it all by yourself. You know, I don't know for you, but I'm someone who always wants to do it all by myself. No, I can do it. I'm gonna spend like all day and night on Google trying to find every little scrap of information that I can. I'm gonna do experiments. I'm gonna try this and that. And it takes so long and so much effort and you burn yourself out, you know? You don't have to do it like this. There's a course like this that can help out. So if you think that's something that could help you, I invite you to join right now. Think about it this way. If you get even just one gig from this course, you're covering the price. And then some. A gig can easily be $2,000, you know? Sometimes I have gigs that are like $6,000, $7,000. So if you get even one, you have your investment back. But more likely, you're gonna get a lot more than one. Leslie said her courses are so helpful. Thank you, Leslie. Leslie is one of my level 1 students. And she's awesome, talented lady. So basically today, I wanted to give you a good overview of my method, my reasoning for coming up with the network method, you know, the problems with the classic query, just so that you can see if this is something that makes sense to you. So if you're thinking, you know, I listened to her speak and I think this makes sense and I think this is something that I might want to learn, then come and join us. And if you think like she's off her meds, I don't know what she's talking about, then by all means, maybe this isn't for you. You don't have to buy my course. You never do. Corlette says, will the price be this low again? No, it will not. It will never be. The regular price is $397. And I might have some little promotions here and there, like a $20 off or something. But this time, you're literally saving $200. There's never going to be such a low coupon ever again. And that's literally because I can't afford to. Yuko said, I've already learned a lot from the level 1 course. Oh, thank you. And Daria asks, is it also for contacting editorial art directors? Absolutely. My methods are based on connecting as people. So it's not specific to any one market. It works with picture books, it works with editorial, it works with scientific illustrations, and I've tested them in the surface design market, and I can tell you, for some reason, it's smashing it in the surface design market. Seriously, I've been getting such good results, even better than in my original picture book market. In surface design, I'm getting like, whoa, really crazy results with this method. Fanny says she's registered. Welcome. That's awesome. All right. I wanted to tell you about Paulina, my friend Paulina Gortman. Do you know her? She's an amazing artist. You can find her on Instagram at Paulina Gortman. That's her handle and that's her profile. She is an absolutely amazing artist. She's a professional artist and killing it. Seriously. 8,000 followers. She has an agent. She illustrates picture books and chapter books. She has done so many published ones already, and she's just awesome. And she is a founder of a critique group and that I'm so lucky to be a part of. So I've discussed my methods with her, and I want to share with you the experience that she had with my methods. So last summer, Paulina emailed some of her local shops and galleries to ask them to carry some of her postcards and stickers, okay? And you would think they would be clamoring at the opportunity because she's such a good professional artist, but she was met with disappointing results. Out of all the emails that she sent, only one shop accepted to carry her products. And most shops told her that they were not interested at this time, or they didn't reply at all. Whoa, that is shocking. That is shocking because she is such a good artist. It's honestly giving me a bit discouraging vibes. I'm like, if Paulina has trouble, what hope do the rest of us have? Right? But this really highlights that the pitching process is not all about art quality. It's not all about experience, because even artists like Paulina can have trouble. And so with our critique group, we meet once every month and we chat about strategies and art and all of this stuff. And so in our December meeting, I was writing the script for the Art Business Bootcamp at the time. So I shared my network method with the other members in that meeting, and Paulina decided to give it a go. And I'm lucky enough that she told me about her experience and it actually worked really well for her. In January, she sent out emails using my network method, and she immediately saw the difference. She sent me a DM and she said most replied within a day, and a third of them were interested to meet or discuss further. Amazing. She says, I guess it does work. Thank you so much for sharing this brilliant strategy. The reason that I really like this story, I think, is because it wasn't even art directors. This was about, she sent those to her local shops and galleries. So it really works across a broad spectrum. Again, because it's about connecting as people, right? Engaging them, thinking about what they need. And that's why it works so well across all kinds of industries. Madonna says, I already registered for level 2, but is it possible to have access to level 1 right now, and how much is it? So yes, it's still for sale at the level 1. Actually, if you look on the sales page that I popped, boom, I have a bundle deal right now. You can get level 1 and 2 together and get a little extra discount. All right, so this is the sort of night and day results that you can get with my network method. It will be the best $197 that you've ever spent. I'm confident about that because of all the work that I put in this, all the bonuses. It is worth its weight in gold. Let me tell you, people, I'm confident about that. Corlette says, how long is the level 2 live classes for? Each class, I'm aiming each class to be about an hour. My level 1 students will tell you that sometimes the lives have run a little bit longer than that. I think the longest was like 2 hours, and I try not to make it that long. I really do. This time, really gonna try to restrain it as possible because I know you guys are all busy. So it's going to be 8 live lessons of hopefully no more than 1 hour long. And there are also 2 live Q&As. So all in all together, it's going to run until March 31st. My contract template. Okay, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about this because I spent all of December working on that, and I'm really, really proud of it, how it turned out. So what I did is I used some of my professional contracts that I've received in my career that were written by, actual lawyers. And I used those as a base, taking clauses from each to build my contract. It includes 3 different documents: a freelancing contract, a licensing contract, which is a little bit different, right? And a clause bucket. So the clause bucket is basically a bunch of different clauses that don't always apply, but you can read through and decide, oh, okay, I want this, I want that, depending on your situation. And you can copy paste the clauses into your freelance contract or your licensing contract. And even better, each clause, I've added a little bit of an explanation in layman's terms so that you can understand what it is and decide if you want it in your contract. So it's a very, very easy to use, super flexible contract template. It took me quite a while. I did many different iterations because I was trying to find a system where it would cover as many situations as possible. So that's what I came up with the close bucket, so that you can adapt it to your needs. And honestly, by itself, this contract template is worth the $197. Because if you were to go to a lawyer, this would cost you like thousands of dollars to get a custom contract. And for many artists, this is just not realistic, right? You have a contract for like $1,000 and you pay $2,000 to get the contract drafted by a lawyer. It's just, it's not realistic for a lot of us. So having a contract template like this that you can use can really be a lifesaver. So you don't have to go without a contract, which would be very dangerous. Paola says, "You are an excellent teacher. It really has been the best money I've ever spent." Oh my God. Paola, you're so sweet. Thank you. Blaine says, "I'm dying to see those bonuses." Yeah, girl, you know it. Anna says, "Are you going to send a bill after the full payment so I can deduct from my taxes?" Smart. Yes. Automatically, when you buy, you receive the invoice. Okay. I'm on the platform called Kartra. It sends you your bill automatically by email. So definitely save that up because yes, you can deduct that from your taxes. It's considered work training, so you can deduce it. Carol says, "Going to a lawyer and asking to make a contract usually costs 200 euros. That's actually, I'm not sure if it's like lowballing it, or maybe in your country, that's how much it costs. In Canada, the prices are insane. The one time that I used a lawyer, they charged me $565 just to review a contract, not to draft a contract, to review and make like little suggestions. Then they were like, if you want me to make in-depth suggestion, I need more money. I was like, you crazy? That's insane. I don't have this much money. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. And that's why a template can really save your butt. So as I talked a little bit about earlier, this course is a live recorded hybrid, as I like to call it. So all the lessons are going to be live, but they are recorded and you have access to them forever. So if you want to come live and hang out, you can. If you want to watch them later, you can. I have a lot of students from the level 1 who came to the lessons live, but then several months later have like rewatched the lessons, and you can do that absolutely. The classes will be held 2 times per week, on Monday and on Thursday, and it starts on February 24th. If you can't make it live, no problemo. You have lifetime access, so don't you worry. You can watch them later. They will be on Facebook immediately after the live finishes. It's automatically compiled on Facebook, but I'm also uploading those to the course platform where they will stay forever. Blaine says, "Oh, you can make payments on the price." Yeah, Blaine, I haven't mentioned this before, but yes, and I do have a payment plan that was highly requested. I know that a lot of you prefer, so you can do 3 payments of $75 if that's better for you. Vinny says, "Just signed up and got the bundle deal. So stoked." Oh, awesome, Vinny. So you can get right into level 1. Maybe you'll be done watching by the time we start the level 2. So, is this course right for you? If you are not sure about, we're going to run through a few things here. Pia says, "Is your strategy only email based? Do you have any other strategies?" It is a very, very good question. Actually, lesson 1, I'm going over other strategies. The whole first lesson is all about that because most of my strategy is about email. I'm going really deep about the email strategy that can allow you to get a really good bang for every email. However, there are other methods, and I do suggest that you pair one passive method with one active method. That's the ticket. And so in the first lesson, we're going over a bunch of different methods. Some of them I've talked about before, some of them I haven't. And then we're also explaining a little bit how to figure out which ones are right for you, because not every method will be right for everyone. So for instance, I know that TikTok is not for me. I know that TikTok is not for me, but maybe it is for you. So, is this course right for you? It is right for you if you already know how to draw. So I know that this isn't a problem for most of you, but I just want to reiterate, this is an art business class. It's not an art class. So I'm not actually teaching drawing methods at all. If that's what you're expecting, this is not for you. If you have already chosen your market and style, then this is great for you. Choosing your market and style is something that we cover in level 1. Okay, so if you need help with that, unfortunately in level 2, we are not covering that. You already have a professional portfolio website with at least 12 illustrations. Again, this is a material from level 1. All of the methods that we're talking about in level 2 take into account that you're going to have a portfolio that you're able to link to people. Okay, when you contact them, always going to bring them back to your portfolio. So either you already have a portfolio or you're working on it. I have some students that are not done with their portfolio, but they wanted to get in level 2 right now, start learning about that. This information is going to be good, forever. So you can finish your portfolio later if you wish, but just keep in mind that we're not discussing how to create a portfolio in this level. So if you need some help with the portfolio, I suggest getting the bundle for level 1 and 2 in order to be able to get all of the information. The bundle. You guys asked about it before, so I'm getting all out of order with my slides. So with this bundle, you can save $50 on level 1. So the regular price of level 1 is $197, but I've put it in this integrated price, both level, for $344. So that turns up at $197 for level 2, $147 for level 1. So in total, you save $250. A pretty good deal if I say so myself. All right, and I have some great testimonials from my level 1 students, many of whom are here right now. If you are here, Yvette, Emilia, Andrea, Maria, Ahmed, or Shrisha, say hi. Thank you so much for leaving me these awesome testimonials. These are just a few screenshots of what my level 1 students have been saying about the course. Something that I've noticed that I'm so happy about is that actually most of the people registered for level 2 right now are level 1 students, and that means a lot because to me it says that you enjoyed level 1 and you got a lot out of it, and that's why you want to continue with me. So it just makes me really happy that you enjoy the teaching and how I organize things and how I present things. And thank you, you guys rock. Letizia says hi, Maria says here. So we're wrapping up here. My question for you is, are you ready to start making money with your art? Are you excited? Tell me in the comments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one are you? Are you this little munchkin right here that's like, yeah? Or this one that's just like doesn't know what to do with himself? Number 2. Or number 3. This might be my favorite gift of all time. Look at this little one. Like, no, my money. Are you number 4? Are you like, nah, I'm not feeling this, whatever? Or are you the little guy right here that's like, yay? Tell me in the comment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one are you? Oh, Yvette was here, and Emilia is here too. So happy that you could join us today. Emilia says, I'm here and I recommend level 1. Thank you for your endorsement, Emilia. Yana is number 1. Isn't it cute? Isn't he cute? Look at that little fluffy tail. That's amazing. Susan is number 4, the kitty that looks like it's at a rave. Paola is number 3. Don't touch my money. All right. So this is it for us today. This is the last slide. I'm going to pop the link once more in the comments if you want to go and check out. There's more information on this page. Actually, let me pop it here. The link that I keep sending you, it goes to this page here. And there's a bit more information here. Some of this we covered today, but there's also this, which is a breakdown of every lesson. So I think that might be nice. It has the date, key takeaways, any bonuses associated with that. And it does that for every lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4, then there's a Q&A. It has all the dates of everything. So if you want to go read that, full breakdown of the whole schedule and every lesson, this will be helpful. P.S. says, until when you have that price? Until the doors to the pre-order close on February 20th, or until places run out. So we had, before we started today, 48 places left available. I know that a few people said that they bought it already, so right now it's probably a bit less. I don't know if we are going to reach 100. Maybe we're not. Maybe everyone is going to be able to get in. Maybe we're going to run out of places. So as soon as we reach 100, doors close and this price is going away forever. Thank you so much everyone for coming. I love you all. We had such a good time. I'm going to be ending it right now. The replay is going to be available if you want to rewatch it or if you missed some parts. Thank you so much for coming. Bye bye. See you in level 2.